Art with Miss Strauss, 5th grade Art, Lesson 3, for September 14th through September 25th. Hello everyone, are you ready for Lesson 3, Guided by Inquiry? I know I am. Objective number 2. You will use inquiry as a guide for making art. Setting up your art space. Find a comfortable spot for you and your art materials. The only thing you really need right now is your school laptop. I will explain more in the lesson and also show you what digital tools you could use. Other materials are completely optional. In this lesson, I will use basic school supplies like pencils, art supplies like colored pencils, crayons, and markers, paper, images of nature, found art materials, and digital drawing tools. Did you know? Did you know that you have a creative process? Every artist, including you, has a creative process. The creative process includes the steps that an artist takes to create artwork from start to finish. Words to know. Inspiration and inquiry. Before you start creating, you probably feel inspired. What happens if you do not have any new ideas or inspiring ideas? Inquiry relates to the questions you ask yourself as a creator. Inquiry helps artists to solve problems. To inquire is to ask a question. Inquiry helps artists to learn more about their materials. How can I use this? What is this? Where can I put this? Can I put this here? What does this look like? Does this work? Inquiry helps artists be more creative and thoughtful about their work. They observe and investigate possibilities. Is this work complete? What if I change this? Inquiring artists use their imagination. Observe and investigate. In addition to using their imaginations, artists observe and investigate the world around them. Imagination. Have you ever used your imagination to think of an idea for a new work of art? Just like you, artists use their imaginations to think of ideas. Maybe you have imagined a fantastic future world with flying cars or amazing creatures. Use your imagination to create artwork. This is an important part of forming new ideas. Words to know. Observation. You probably have a good idea what the word observation means. Maybe. What does it mean to you? If I ask you to observe something, what is it that I want you to do? What do you think the kids in this video are observing? Observe means to watch. Have you ever watched a bird in a nest? Have you ever watched the rain fall from the sky? Whenever you are watching something, you are observing it. To observe is to watch. Artists observe all the time. This video shows a plein air painting technique. That means the artist is out in the open air or outside. All artists look around them and observe what is happening. They watch how things change and interact with each other. They notice differences. Words to know. Investigate. Now, you probably have heard this word before too. What do you think it means? If I ask you to investigate something, what do I want you to do? What do you think the kids in this video are investigating? To investigate is to learn. If I had to guess, these kids were learning about outer space. Artists investigate the world around them to learn more. What would you like to investigate? I love to investigate nature, and luckily for me, this lesson is all about going outside and using natural materials to create artworks. Let's go outside.
Hey everybody, we are outside. We're at the park and we are looking for kinds of things that maybe aren't usually used for art, but kinds of things that we could use for making art, or things to look at to inspire our art. Right now it's a gorgeous day and we're on the lake and there's a lot to inspire us. So we're at the park and there's quite a few people here, so I got my mask back up even though we're outside. And I'm collecting things as we walk around, things that might be interesting, things that could be used for art in different ways. So this is what I have so far, but let's keep looking around. There's little pieces of twigs and sticks and things here, and that's fine. what's that thing? It's got some good texture. I like that texture too. I wonder if I could draw that. That could be kind of fun.
Had a little adventure of going outside and finding some interesting things in nature. So this week we're thinking about art in different kinds of ways and making observations about the world around us. It kind of feels like thinking like a scientist and thinking like an artist all at once, which is kind of fun. So if you notice, I have all these things that I've found, and I can do a couple of things with them. Now, right now, I'm just laying them out so that you can see. One thing I might be able to do is to arrange these in an interesting way. Maybe I make some patterns. Maybe I look at these individual ones and say, oh, look at that, that's an interesting texture. Maybe I'll draw that texture. Ooh, I wonder what this is. I wonder what the insides look like. Maybe I could draw what I observe. There's all kinds of different ways that we could use these items that we find into art. Maybe I can put them all together in a way that makes it interesting on this paper. That I thought were interesting. But maybe you have instead something like a piece of cardboard. And this is just a pizza box, some water. Now you can still make art. And maybe use found materials instead of using pencils and paper. I'm going to have this feather I found. I'm going to dip it in the water and see what kind of mark it makes on the cardboard. And you can see there are marks on the cardboard. It's gonna dry, but I can try different materials, different found items, and see what happens when I make a mark. If you have something as simple as cardboard and water, you can still make art, even if it is just for a little bit. Now, I wonder what you could create with the things you have around your house. Maybe you can make a robot out of some recycled materials. Maybe if you have something as simple as cardboard and water, you can make a temporary drawing.
I was lucky enough to go outside and be able to collect some art materials. Now, I do want to talk about a person that we should know. Our important artist is Andy Goldsworthy. Andy Goldsworthy is a nature sculptor, and for this, we're going to go back to Schoology. Schoology looks like this for you. I know this isn't your class, but when we go to our art lessons for this week, you should see this video lesson and some links in an optional extras section. Now this optional extras section has a lot of things going on. What we're going to look at first is this video, Andy Goldsworthy, Land Art. Now this video link is going to take us to another page, and it should pop out and look like this. This is some nature art by Andy Goldsworthy, and you can see how it's all natural materials that he's got in these. He doesn't use any man-made. It's all things that he finds outside. He knows that all of his work is temporary, and he knows that when it's over, nature is going to take over. These leaves, he knows they're not going to last, and that's okay. It's for the moment, and he saves those moments with photographs. I'm going to pause the video here, but you can go ahead and watch on your own if you follow that link. If it doesn't work, know that you can search his name to find videos. I'm going to go back to Schoology to show you about how to do some digital artwork. When I open this week's lesson folder, we'll see this lesson, but also Nature Art Box for PBS Kids. When you click the link, you should have a page like this open. From here, we're going to go to play. Once we hit play, we're going to be prompted to this screen, which we can skip. Now we can see our Nature Cat art box. We're going to open this up. I can choose any of these to do my artwork on. It's like a brand new blank canvas. I'm going to click here to open this one that looks kind of like sand or wood. Our art today is about making nature sculptures, and I know that sometimes you can't get out of the classroom and go find stuff outside, so we can use digital art to help us create. These are the stickers here, and I can place them and change their colors. I can use these things like seeds to make my art in an interesting way that it's not exactly a sculpture, but we can arrange our art virtually, representing the things we find outside in nature. I hope you enjoy using this as much as I do. When you're done, there's a green check mark right here to save your work. When you're ready to save, click the green check mark twice. Now that I've saved it, I can go back and add more next time. I can see that my artwork is here on this page. I'm going to go back to Schoology again and open this file folder for optional extras. I have a video, and then I have an epic link that goes to different trees, different books about trees. This is a collection I've added to help you be inspired by nature. Hopefully you already have an Epic account, but if you don't, you can use my code. There's instructions for you back in Schoology. Right here, get Epic, create new profile instructions. Another virtual drawing program for fun is this link here to Plum Landing. Since you're already thinking about outside things, I added this because it includes some outdoor adventures that you can do after you're done with school and the next time you're outside. There's also games and drawing tools. Nature Sketchpad is a virtual drawing tool that you can use and save your work. There's different ways to do it, but you can also make neat patterns and use shapes that are very natural looking. When you're done here, you can type in information about your artwork and save it to your computer. Now I'm going to go back to Schoology and go over under upcoming events. You should see one that says just for fun, upload or create art for the first 9 weeks. Now this is optional, but here I can either have a drawing through Kami on this point, or on this part you could see something that says submissions. You can upload a file here. Since I'm a teacher, I won't be able to see this upload page here, but when you click on it, you can add a file from your computer through the submission page so I can see what you created. It's completely optional and is only if you feel like you need to share or want to share. I do love to see your work, but don't feel like you need to do this part for your grade. That's it for this art lesson. I hope you are inspired to go outside in nature and create your own artworks using found materials.